felt really, it was something really different. And particularly when I was doing in my counseling training, we didn't really touch on the subjects that we touch upon at the RTN. So to me, it was really refreshing. And I think it was much needed in the time it started, kind of lockdown, everything going on, Black Lives Matter. It was just, I think it really happened at the right time. Um, and so it just grew from there, to be honest. So I'm really happy I came across that meeting and I signed up.
I'm still a student, so I'm just in my second year of a 4-year degree, and I actually saw my first client this week, so it's a big week. And I found Radical Therapist Network through Pink Therapy on Facebook, because my education, I live in Ireland, and my education was falling short of what I had expected in terms of inclusivity and like say anti-oppressive behavior, and just really quite unexamined biases in the way that information was getting transmitted. So I very early in my education started seeking out people who could support me through this career, because if what I was seeing was the reality, then it wasn't the place for me, and I really didn't want that to be the case. So I came across something in Pink Therapy on Facebook and messaged Sage about this thing. What is this? How do I get involved? And that's led me here, and I'm really happy that I've been a part of it.
And I think I might add to that, Veronica, to say that I think what has also led me to this space is being queer, is being trans, is being dual heritage, of being underclass, of experiencing or surviving trauma. All of those lived experiences and identities that intersect and impact the way I live and experience life, and the way I move through spaces as a person and as a therapist is so unique. So for me, there's something about, how do I find therapists that look like me? How do I share healing spaces with people who understand my lived experience and not feel alone? I think I've definitely found community and family in this space with everyone.
I started my movement towards anti-oppressive practice in my own exploration of being of dual heritage and experiences of people from the global south and immigrants. And I started realizing that the theory I was learning and the therapy I was having wasn't really adapted to that experience and many others. And I started researching in my own time a lot more about the effects of oppression and how to work with that. And I was starting to get a bit discouraged by not finding a lot of people working in those ways or thinking in those ways out there, and feeling a bit isolated. So when I joined Twitter and I saw that RTN was a thing, I messaged Sage, I think, and they were very gentle and very welcoming, and I decided to join. And for me, I think what I was looking for was a community to support me and other people in developing this kind of thinking and this kind of practice. Because for me, it doesn't happen in isolation. You need to have a community.
So how did I find RTN? Really, it just kind of happened. I work with Sign Health, and they sent me an email, and it was talking about accessing some training. And they said, oh, they'll have BSL interpreters at this training. You'll laugh. There was a few things. it was about homeless, the plurality of homelessness and belonging. And I was like, oh, okay. So homeless people, thinking about homeless people, and I was thinking, oh, I really want to learn more about that. So I decided to join that training for the first time. And I was shocked. I was like, what is this? It was a surprise to me. I was a bit confused at first. I think it was like a wake-up call for me and like an awakening. And it started making me think a lot, opening my mind. And what it means to be in a group like this and what it means to not have a home for someone. And I started thinking about my own experiences and experiences I've had in the past as a deaf woman. And I'm a deaf therapist now. And I started to think about how difficult it was at that time for me to be able to access training when I started my training, to fit into the group. Everybody was hearing when I did my training. I really struggled. I felt like I almost didn't belong in this group. So when we're talking about belonging then, and I was like, I felt like it was like them and then me, and I was left out of the group in the training. So it really hit me in that training. And it also made me think about other things that had happened and started to make me think about my identity and things that I'd never thought about before. And that was just the first session that I joined. So I kind of left that and feeling really emotional. It was, to be honest, it was quite scary for me. When we went into the breakout groups, I felt really supported. I felt really safe. I felt really respected. There were lots of different people that were here. It was a very diverse group, but we were all working together and sharing experiences and respecting each other. And everybody was so caring. And really, I'll be honest, it's been the first time that I've been offered training automatically with a BSL interpreter and felt included. I didn't have to ask for it. And that for me was just marvelous. Wow. I think that was one of the biggest things that hit me about RTN. So after that first session, I went back to the website and had a look at the things on offer and became really excited and said, yes, this is what I need, definitely. I felt like it was the right time, the right place, the right group. But the other interesting thing is when I booked my ticket, I think it was the last ticket. So when I received it, there were no other tickets on the website, and that shocked me as well. And it just felt that this was meant to happen. This was meant to be. So I have to say, it really makes me think being an RTN. I reflect on myself, think about my own experiences. It's just made me think about so many things, about my own experience and other people's experiences. And I think I was quite naive before at times. I want to learn. I want to work with other therapists and other people. So it has really, really been fantastic joining RTN for me. I want to say thank you to Sage for setting it up. Thank you. It's marvelous.